When we think of the civil rights movement, we picture giants like Dr. King and Rosa Parks, names etched in history. But the real story is much bigger. It's built on the courage of thousands of unsung heroes, ordinary people whose names you'll never read in textbooks. They were teenagers walking out of classrooms, mothers organizing carpools, sharecroppers risking everything to vote. Their small acts of defiance created a tidal wave of change. The movement's true power wasn't just in speeches, but in the footsteps of everyday people demanding to be seen and heard. Imagine a tapestry. The famous names are the bold colors, but it's the countless other threads, the unsung heroes, that hold it together. Without them, the fabric unravels. By uncovering their stories, we enrich the legacy of the leaders we know. Change doesn't come from a few extraordinary individuals. It comes from the collective will of ordinary people who decide enough is enough. Their legacy isn't just a chapter in a book. It's an invitation for us to find our own courage. Today, let's honor the sacrifices of those who built the foundation for justice. The power to reshape the world lies within each of us. The civil rights movement was a symphony, not a solo. Leaders like Dr. King were conductors, but the orchestra was made up of everyday people: teachers, farmers, maids, students. They risked jobs, homes, and safety, yet showed up to organize, march, and demand justice. Their power was in unity and conviction, not fame or fortune. The decision to join the movement meant risking everything, but they did it anyway. They met in church basements, handed out flyers, and marched in the streets, knowing the dangers. This was not a movement of superheroes, but of ordinary people choosing extraordinary bravery. Let's honor the grandmother who cooked for organizers, the deacon who opened his church, the teenager who integrated a school. These are the people who powered the movement. History is made not just by the few remembered, but by the many who refuse to be forgotten. Their legacy is a testament to what's possible when ordinary people unite. Celebrate the whole team, not just the stars. The movement's strength was always in its people. Their courage changed America. To understand the courage of these heroes, we must see the world they fought to change. Jim Crow segregation was more than separate water fountains. It was a system designed to crush black dignity at every turn. Daily humiliations were constant: stepping off sidewalks, being denied service, attending underfunded schools. Whites-only signs were everywhere, reminders of denied humanity. This system was enforced by law and by terror: beatings, bombings, lynchings, and a justice system that offered no protection. It was a psychological and physical war designed to break spirits. Yet resilience grew in black communities. Churches became organizing centers, families taught pride, and the thirst for justice simmered beneath the surface. The desire for dignity and freedom was unquenchable. This deep longing for justice would soon erupt into a powerful movement. The ground was fertile for revolution. Out of oppression, hope and resistance were born. Every great fire starts with a spark. In Montgomery, that spark was Rosa Parks' quiet "no." Her arrest ignited the Montgomery bus boycott, but it was the community's unity that sustained it for 381 days. Maids, teachers, and laborers walked miles to work, rain or shine. Women like Joanne Robinson organized carpools, turning hardship into collective action. The boycott proved the economic power and resolve of the black community. The spirit of Montgomery spread. In Greensboro, 4 black college students staged a sit-in at a whites-only lunch counter. Their simple act sparked a movement. Soon, hundreds joined sit-ins across the South. These students faced hostility, violence, and arrest, but met hatred with dignity. Their bravery exposed the ugliness of segregation to the nation and the world. Images of peaceful students being brutalized shocked Americans and forced change. The courage of these young, unknown protesters pushed the movement forward. It wasn't just the famous names, It was the collective action of many. Ordinary people, united in purpose, forced businesses to desegregate. Their actions became the blueprint for nonviolent protest. The movement's fire was fueled by everyday courage. In May 1963, Birmingham's movement stalled until the children marched. Organizer James Bevel called on the city's youth, arguing they had less to lose and more to gain. Thousands of children, some as young as 6, walked out of school and marched for justice. Bull Connor responded with fire hoses and attack dogs, unleashing brutality on unarmed kids. The world watched in horror as images of children being attacked appeared on front pages and TV screens. The protest exposed the evil of segregation in a way no speech could. The children's courage shamed the adults who opposed them and filled jails with freedom songs. Their sacrifice broke the back of segregation in Birmingham and created political pressure for national civil rights laws. These children were not just participants, they were heroes. They taught the world you're never too young to stand up for what's right. The fight for freedom is a fight for the future. Their bravery changed history. Behind every great leader stood brilliant strategists and tireless workers. Bayard Rustin, a master organizer and pacifist, taught Dr. King nonviolent resistance and orchestrated the 1963 March on Washington. Because he was openly gay, Rustin worked in the shadows, sacrificing recognition for the cause. History now honors his vital role. Months before Rosa Parks, 15-year-old Claudette Colvin refused to give up her bus seat. She was arrested, but leaders worried her age and circumstances made her an unlikely symbol. Still, Colvin became a plaintiff in the case that ended bus segregation. Her defiance helped ignite the movement. These stories reveal the complex human side of the movement. Heroes weren't perfect, but they were courageous. Women like Joanne Robinson and the Women's Political Council organized, strategized, and led from behind the scenes. The movement's strength was in its diversity of voices and its willingness to embrace courage wherever it appeared. We must not let prejudice erase these contributions. The unsung heroes shaped history. The sacrifices of countless heroes bent the arc of history. In 1964, the Civil Rights Act outlawed segregation and discrimination. The next year, the Voting Rights Act struck down barriers to black voting. These laws dismantled the legal framework of segregation and opened doors long sealed shut. But passing laws was only the beginning. Changing hearts and minds proved harder. Economic inequality, housing discrimination, and injustice persisted. Dr. King turned his focus to poverty and economic justice before his assassination in 1968. Even today, the struggle continues. Voting rights, police reform, and economic justice remain urgent. The victories of the 1960s were turning points, not endpoints. They gave us tools to keep fighting, but progress is never guaranteed. Each generation must protect and advance these gains. The fight for equality is ongoing. The movement's legacy is a call to action. The work is not finished. The civil rights movement isn't just history, it's a living legacy and a call to action. The courage of a teenager on a bus, the strategy of an organizer, the bravery of marching children, these stories challenge us today. They didn't wait for perfect leaders, they acted against injustice. Their legacy asks, what will you do when you see inequality? Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's acting despite it. Every act of courage, no matter how small, creates a ripple. You never know who you'll inspire. Let's honor these heroes not just with words, but with action. The path to justice is paved by everyday people. Your footsteps matter. Where will you walk? The journey continues. Let's get to work.